What's going on, guys? I have done some stuff since the last time we spoke, so let me go ahead and catch everyone up on what's going on here. So I got a lot of parts painted. As you guys know, all the suspension pieces are repainted gold and black. Here is the subframe with the steering rack installed. We got the gold control arms. I didn't end up doing the sway bar, I just kind of got lazy with it, but everything is looking absolutely sick. So this whole time I've been waiting for a couple parts. The ball joints are one of them, which I actually just went ahead and installed on this side. Now it is looking, I just can't wait to see this when it's in the car now. This beautiful baby's gonna be killing it once it's all together. While we're catching you guys up, I thought it might be a good idea to go ahead and install the other ball joint, so we'll set up the camera. Hopefully we get some light out here and see what we get done. So here's the last ball joint I have to go ahead and throw on. Picked these up off of Amazon for pretty cheap. If you look at AutoZone and other places to replace these ball joints, it actually gives you the entire control arm that you have to replace, which ends up being a ton of money. For both of these, I think I paid around, I don't know, maybe 40 bucks, 50 bucks. They look pretty nice. Got some good rubber to them, and they also come with the grease fittings that go into the bottom here. So to make this process a little bit faster for myself, went ahead and got the impact gun. These are press-in style ball joints, so they're gonna go on the bottom like this. Can I have that back, please? Thank you. This will go up here, like so. That's gonna let the ball joint be pressed in. Make sure the ball joint's pretty much like seated, ready to go. Just kind of watch it. It's going to start seating in all nicely. That's it. Real quick, real nice, real easy. Just make sure it's flat all across the bottom here, which it is on this. Now I'm going to go ahead and install the hub, and then I'm going to grease these after that, because you want to grease them with all the pressure kind of weighted on here. Otherwise your seals will just start to pop. At least when there's pressure on this, you'll know how much grease you can actually put in, because it'll start coming out of the grease fitting, so you'll know when you're full. If you fill this up first, put it on, you might have a hard time getting the hub on, or this blue part, the actual bushing, might just fly off the tip of this because it has so much pressure behind it. Even though these are, like, you know, wired in, some of them aren't. These are a really nice set of ball joints. Some of them you can get some real issues with. So I'm going to go ahead and get the hub real quick. Just about where we need to be, so you can't go too far in because then you won't be able to put the bolt through. But we just made it perfect. And now, go ahead and install the bolt on the other side. This bolt down here, now you can actually see it, kinda. There it is. This little bolt here. Go ahead and tighten these so they're pinched down. Actually, you don't really need to. There's enough weight on them. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get a little piece of wood, support the A-arm up, and then put the grease fitting. Finish that up with an open-ended wrench. There's nothing really outside you can use for this. Now, the only problem I potentially foresee in the future with this is sometimes this gets in the way of the clearance. So, like, if I run these same rims, they'll be fine because there's plenty of clearance at the moment. If I was to run like a bigger rim or something like that, or I don't know, something with a bigger lip on the back side back here, maybe it would get in the way. These ones should be fine, so fingers crossed. You might run into an issue like this though, depending on what rim you have, if you were to install these guys. Last thing to do is to grab a grease gun, hook it up to your ball joint, and squeeze away. Now you'll know when this is full, you'll see the rubber on the ball joint start to kind of fill up. And you can kind of see it there. I just wanted to show you guys a quick little tip that I have for your tie rods or anything that like spins, any of the things that you have to put a nut on or anything like that, that the bottom will spin actually. There's no way to, like, you know, there's no bolt or anything on the bottom of this for you to hold it. So basically, since this is sitting, you know, sort of outside or like in the garage and the elements got a little rusty, so the nut was only going on about, let's say this far with that, and then it would just like bind up. So just take a pair of vice grips and grab the bottom of these, and then, you know, take a impact wrench or something like that and just run this straight down, straight up a couple times. It'll get rid of all the shit that's in there. I also used a wire brush, got all the stuff off of it, and then installing. So the last thing I have to go do is get an emissions test out in the Mazda, and that's because this project could take a little bit more time, and if it's the middle of the winter when it's done, I don't want to take this car out, get the emissions done, and then have a vehicle registration that expires and me have to drive around with it expired. There used to be an emissions place like down the street from my house, and now there is no longer there. Probably like a 20-minute drive instead of a 5-minute drive. Next week I'm planning on going and getting both the cars done, the Subaru and the Mazda, for emissions, and then we'll be good as golden to yank the motor out of it and start having fun trying to figure out what needs to come out of the Speed3 stuff and go into the NA Mazda. Guys, it's almost here. All the suspension pieces are here. They're done, they're painted. It's time to drop that motor in. I hope you're as excited as I am. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Catch you later. Bye.